Ever wondered what it's really like to cruise on Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas? Let me show you. I'm Stephanie with Unconditional Adventures, your favorite travel agent on a mission to help you explore cruise life one ship at a time. And today we're diving into one of Royal Caribbean's most talked about vessels and one of the West Coast's most popular cruises, LA to Ensenada. From the embarkation experience to onboard dining, entertainment, solo and LGBTQ+ traveler insights, and the best bits of Ensenada, I recorded every step of the journey so you can decide, is this cruise, this ship, and this itinerary the right fit for you? So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's see what it's really like aboard Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas. It is embarkation day to get on Quantum of the Seas in the port of San Pedro here on the West Coast. Excited for this 4-night cruise to Ensenada and excited to check out Quantum of the Seas. It's the first time this ship has ever sailed from the West Coast. So it's normally in Alaska and Southeast Asia. So I'm excited to check out all the ship has to offer and see Ensenada, which I've never seen before.
Big chandelier, they're going to scan you in and then you'll
All right, so on board the ship, the check-in process was super quick and easy. It took literally just a matter of minutes, walking through a couple security checkpoints and getting scanned in, and then walked right on the ship. So if you've sailed with other cruise lines, I know when I sailed with Virgin Voyages, we were stuck in a holding pen for quite a while. This was nothing like that. This was just walk right on. Got into our muster station, did the safety training video, and all of that just within minutes of boarding, which was really nice. So now it's just kind of time to explore. So of course, first stop was here at Sorrento's to get some pizza. Stop next door at the Cafe Promenade to get a cookie. And ready to go check out what else the ship has to offer. So the food lines, usually expect those to be pretty long when you first get on board because everybody runs straight to the buffet to get that free food that they've been waiting for. Be prepared for that. But man, check-in was a breeze. This was super easy. And I will say though, you just kind of walk into deck 5 right in the center of the ship. There was no, it wasn't exciting. There was no music. There was no, hey, welcome aboard. It was just kind of being met with people pointing you in the right direction. And you didn't even walk into like the Royal Esplanade. It just was walking onto like a balcony area. So that was kind of lackluster, I thought. But I mean, overall, I would take having not much excitement to waiting in line for a long time. So yeah, super easy process there. So when it comes to space on the ship, the solarium at the front of the ship on deck, what are we on, deck 14, I think? This is incredible. It's a 21 and up only, and I mean, just look at these views. You've got hot tubs facing out, the pool is facing out, you can get lunch here, dinner here, they've got breakfast. The pool bar is here, and all of this is adults only. It is enclosed, so a little bit more humid, but still, I mean, so much quieter, and just it's just gorgeous to look at this area. Again, this was a great ship to take to Alaska because you could be sailing by a glacier, sitting in the hot tub, and not freezing your butt off because you're not outside, but still getting the best part of the view. So this is an incredible area. I highly suggest coming here, especially if you are kid-free. This is a great place to be. And then it connects here to another indoor pool and hot tub area, which, again, if you really want to get in the pools when they're not busy, get in them as soon as you board. Just make sure you take your swimsuit and stuff with you in a carry-on bag and then get in the pool. Like, there is nobody using these things right now, so this is a great time to use it. It is a beautiful afternoon here on deck 15, which is the outdoor pool deck. And this is how you get over to the North Star, which you can see behind me. I'll be doing that later this week. The days that the ship is in port, you can do the North Star for free, but it only basically just goes up and back down. If you pay for the experience, which I want to say was like $40 a person, while the ship is at sea, then it like takes you all around, and it's 300 and something feet, 350 feet above sea level, and you get all kinds of amazing views. So yeah, I'm going to do that later this week, so I'll show you guys that as well. But so much to do. This is what I love about, especially these Quantum class ships. There's just so much to do on board. This one doesn't have, like, we're also in port in the same time as the Navigator of the Seas, which was more for a Caribbean sailing. So it's got your water slides and more outdoor pools and things like that. This ship was kind of made to be in the colder climate, but it just has like that more adult feel to it, if that makes sense. There's just like nicer areas, even though this is an older ship. I want to say it was like 2014-ish. But it just feels like a nicer ship and a nicer area, more adult things to do. So yeah, I'm excited to keep exploring, but the outdoor areas are beautiful. Like I said, plenty to do out here as well. Rock climbing wall, the surfing experience, plenty to do on the ship, even if you never get off onto a port. So Quantum class ships are definitely ones worth checking out. So, good lesson learned. Went to go eat dinner at 5 o'clock, which is what I had reserved online. And then they told me to look on my SeaPass card. And on the very bottom down here is where it tells you what you actually get for dinner time. And I got assigned my time dining, which is not what I signed up for. So if you want to change it, you can. You just have to go to guest services. So as soon as you get into your room, it's a good idea to check that and make sure you've got the dining time that you want. They have an early seating, a late seating, and then the my time dining is kind of falls in between. So for now, I am checking out the Bionic Bar and watch some robots make drinks. Alright, so made it through day one. It was a lot of fun exploring the ship and seeing everything there's to offer. The sail away party was pretty fun. Got some sleep. Wouldn't say good sleep, but I did get some sleep. Had a little snafu with dinner reservation time and trying to get that sorted out. So again, I would look at your set sail card, because it'll tell you what your dinner time is, and it may be different than what you actually booked, so make sure you're checking that. So yeah, I'm gonna go to guest services and get that figured out today. But overall, the ship does not seem full. There's quite a few people, but it doesn't seem full. And then yeah, there's plenty of dancing and trivia and karaoke, all that stuff on the first night. So no shortage of things to do. That's the nice part with a cruise. It can be as relaxing or as party filled really as you want it to be. There's just so much stuff to do. So yeah, the overall great first day. I'm excited for today. It's a day at sea, and continue to explore everything the ship has to offer and try some new things, and probably eat my weight in crab cakes and treats. And yeah, about to go hit the hot tub. It's early morning here, here's another interesting thing that I've never experienced on a cruise ship before. I'm actually sailing during daylight saving time. However, the ship decided to roll our clocks back on Saturday instead of Sunday. So now my clock says it's 7 a.m., but on the ship time it's 6 a.m., which has affected like my North Star experience reservation and things like that. So it'll just be interesting to see how that plays out. I'm gonna try to find out today why they do it a day early. So why is it the day at sea and not our port day when we're all in Ensenada? But again, I mean, daylight saving happens at 2 a.m., so I'm not sure why it would have to go a day early anyway, but I'm gonna try to find that out today. But that's the interesting thing that's kind of messing with my head, is like, what time is it actually? So I'm gonna hit the hot tub, which is something I love to do to start my days when traveling, and I'm gonna see which is less crowded, the outdoor hot tub, the indoor hot tub, or the solarium hot tub. There's probably 8 hot tubs on board, which is kind of nice. So yeah, let's get our day started and see what day 2 has in store. I'm gonna give trivia a try. This current category is the, of course, copyright-free Wizarding World trivia. So we'll see how I do with that. It's visual trivia, so I'm gonna see what that means. But still have yet to find anyone that knows why we did the time change a day early. So I'm still on the mission to figure that out. But also about to try some of the lobster mac and cheese bites from the English pub here. So I'll let you know how those are. But so far a great day. It's still kind of chilly outside, but plenty to do indoors for sure.
Oh my God, sorry guys. Thank you for coming, okay? Okay guys, I know you're going to get excited, but you don't shout the answers, okay? You write it down on your paper and pencil.
Okay, these lobster mac and cheese wedges are delicious. Delish. So my favorite part of a silent disco is listening to people singing because all they can hear is what's in their head. So there's Whitney Houston, and the other channel is a Latin channel. Apparently Whitney Houston is the popular one at the moment. These are fun.
It's so hard to explain everything that I'm feeling face to face.
So, wrapping up first full day at sea, which is day 2, and some thoughts overall. Again, I feel like the ship it just feels more adult than some of the Royal Caribbean ships I've been on in the past, which I like. There's so many just like hang out and chill areas that this was definitely a space that was not intended to just be a cruise ship for kids. So it's kind of cool. There's like a wine bar that's really quiet, and then again that solarium and the indoor pool area. There's lots of, just as you walk around, you find lots of just little pockets of places to sit. And we saw people today that literally grabbed a deck chair and read a book all day long. So lots of, again, it doesn't have to feel hectic or be busy. Like there's plenty of just chill out and relax spaces on board, which I really like. The food has been decent. I was very spoiled on Virgin Voyages, which has amazing food. So kind of comparing it to that, but it's been pretty good. Each menu night is themed. And so, but there are other options if they're, it's not a theme that you like. But overall, I think the food has been pretty good. And again, it's nice to be able to get, pizza up until 3 a.m. and grab late night cookies and things like that. That's been kind of cool. Also, the entertainment options are okay. Some of the shows have been a little weird. Some of the interactive nights. I went to the If You Know It, Sing It, and just the hosts aren't real good at getting people involved. But yeah, there's plenty of stuff to do. Really, on this kind of a cruise, you're only bored if you want to be. I mean, there's no shortage of activities, crafts, tours, dining options, all that stuff. There's plenty to do. So, and then nightlife, very active, especially for Royal Caribbean. Starting at about 9 o'clock, they really kick things off, and there's again tons to do all the way up until about 1 or 2 in the morning. So no shortage of things to do again. But if you want to just hang out and relax and do nothing, you can do that as well. They make that very easy to do. So yeah, overall, really enjoying everything so far. Really, the only weird thing has been the time change, getting that schedule figured out, because yeah, we did the time change a full day early, which has kind of messed everything up. I had a North Star reservation around sunset, which then the time changed on the ship a day early, and so it just kind of has messed things up. But getting all that dealt with, that's just part of it. You kind of roll with the punches and figure that stuff out as you go. But yeah, I highly recommend this ship. If you're a solo traveler, if you are traveling without kids, this is a good one to be on. The Quantum class ships, they're definitely built for that. Tomorrow, Ensenada Day, got our excursion, which is basically a tour of Ensenada on an air-conditioned bus, which I'm looking forward to. So yeah, I'm excited to check out that port. Never been to Ensenada or to that side of Mexico, so I'm excited to see the differences there. And yeah, looking forward to another great day. So the Dodgers just won the World Series. Kind of a cool experience to be on a cruise ship when that happens, right? Ensenada. I'm taking the Best of Ensenada bus tour today. I'm excited to see several of the stops, do some shopping, drink a margarita and a Mexican Coke, and apparently there's tacos, which I'm very excited about. Also here on the last day of Day of the Dead, so I'm excited to see some like actual cultural things and hopefully not just all touristy stuff. So yeah, the check-in process for the excursions, very simple. They have it down to a science. You go to the Royal Theater, everybody's broken into groups by number. You get a little sticker for your group, and very easy process. Another note, you can't take food, like actual food, like fruit, bananas, apples, things like that is not packaged. You can't take that off of the ship since you're in a foreign country. I did take a protein bar and got that off the ship, but your bags and you get sniffed by food-sniffing dogs. So just keep that in mind. You can't take bottled water with you, that's fine, and packaged food, but not like fresh fruit, sorry. So yeah, let's see what this tour entails, and looking forward to getting on land and checking out Ensenada, which I've never seen before. So we'll see how it goes.
Ensenada's population 600,000 inhabitants. The city was founded at the year of 1882. Since those times, our main economic activities: shipping, fishing, tourism, and agriculture. Now that you know what we do in Ensenada for living, don't forget, because at the end of this tour, I'm going to give you a quiz. I'm going to give you a test. If you don't pass it, I won't take you back home, okay? Please don't miss the civics. Today's Day. Do you know what I'm thinking? There's a child. I'm going to show, unfortunately, her accident place, she died, and now the legend says that she appears at the village as a ghost. And you know,
Mexican Coke. It's just like regular Coke.
shopping. If you are wondering what could be accessed by when I visit in Mexico, we recommend you the national drink of Mexico, which is tequila.
I got a churros.
Free churro.
Jellies, anything you want. It's right here. Jello con la tapatía and your way back. Tamarind, caramelized almonds, oranges, strawberry jellies, sour one, fruit, anything you want. I have it right here. Okay.
Thank you.
If you plan on buying, this is the place right here.
There you go.
Oh, I got the spicy one. Oh. Oh, good, but woo.
Man, you guys are having no fun, man. This
Bueno, te pasa rápido.
Try these 6 olive oils right here. This setup is gonna be from the mildest one to the boldest. Okay?
was a picture perfect day in Ensenada. I got to see some really cool sights. Went and visited the Blowhole and did some haggling with the merchants there. Got to visit a winery, had some wine samples, some olive oil, many types of olive oil. So yeah, all in all, this was a great day. Really enjoyed it, and picture perfect weather too. This is awesome. So yeah, excited to get back on the ship, try some more delicious dinner, hopefully, and one more day at sea. Final day at sea. This is the last full day of the cruise. I'm excited to try out a lot of the indoor fun trivia, name that tune type things today. So I'll see kind of what the activity schedule looks like, and not a lot of parties happening tonight just because it's the last night. Now there is the Royal Birthday Bash that's happening later, and Royal Birthday Bash Bingo. So I'm going to hit both of those today. And yeah, just kind of leisurely get through the day and end the cruise on a fun note. So I'm excited to see the activities program and kind of see some of the, I wouldn't say less popular, but not as busy activities like Sudoku, crossword puzzles, name that tune, things like that. So just go check those out and kind of see what the demographic is and how much fun they are and that kind of stuff. Gives you a chance to win a Royal Caribbean pen. Sometimes they give away Bingo Bash t-shirts, which give you 3 free cards to play bingo, so that's cool. But yeah, it is a little choppy today, a little windy outside, so this might be a good day to stay in and kind of see the indoor activities program, and of course continue eating. So I went no frills on this one. No beverage package, no drink package, no upgraded dining. I just wanted to kind of spend more money on the room. And so I got the extended balcony room, or oversized balcony room, but didn't do any of the extra frills when it comes to drinks or dining. There are plenty of options there that you really just have to kind of look at and see if those drinks or dining packages are worth it for you. They do have a drink of the day every day that's discounted, and they'll sometimes run buy one, get one 50% off on drink specials at times. But for me, paying, it was $45 a day, up to $60 a day for top shelf for alcohol, and that's per person. And so it just wasn't, I'm not going to drink that much. I love a good, drink night kind of thing, but I'm not going to drink that much over the course of a cruise. Same with the dining package. As a person with a tiny tummy, I had gastric sleeve 8 years ago, and I can't eat a full meal as it is. Those dining packages aren't worth it for me. I'm not going to finish the meal as is, so there's no point in me spending, between $35 and $65 for a meal that I'm not going to be able to finish. However, I will say the restaurants on board are nice. Chops Steakhouse is phenomenal. Jamie's is probably the most popular restaurant. They do a lunch menu and a dinner menu, and if you like Italian, you're going to like Jamie's. Nothing but good things have I heard about it, and the food just looks amazing. The sushi place here looks amazing as well, Azumi. So if those kinds of food like if that's something that you really like, maybe it is worth doing that, for one meal or a lunch meal or a dinner. If you're having a special event or something like that, it could totally be worth it. But for me, it just didn't make any sense for me to do that. Same with, like I said, the drink packages and even the soda. I mean, I paid for a couple of drinks on board. I think I got a drink of Screwball peanut butter whiskey for $11. I did another mixed drink for $17. I think my one hard seltzer was like $12 as well. So yes, the drink prices to me are ridiculous, but it's still far cheaper than me paying for a drink package. And same with the soda. I bought one can of soda while I was on board, and that's enough for me. Like, do I like soda? Sure, but not enough to drink $12 a day worth of soda. Specialty coffee, they do have an option where you can buy like a punch card for specialty coffee drinks if that's a big thing for you. So that can certainly be worth it. And the nice part is the punch card doesn't have to be used on this cruise. You can keep it and use it on a future day. So that part is nice as well. But for the dining packages, the drink packages, they do offer usually 30% off if you book it before you get on board. And then I was just at breakfast and they came by and said they're offering 50% off for this last day of the cruise if you wanted to do lunch or dinner at some of the specialty restaurants. So keep that in mind. If it's something that you get here and you decide, hey, I want to try this out, they're probably going to offer you a deal on the last day. But overall, the food has been good. Not great, but good. The Windjammer has your, buffet style breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The place is busy all the time, and so it does kind of feel like a madhouse in there. But if you want to kind of just pick and choose and grab small things, big things, try a bunch of different, types of food, that could be a good way to go. The main dining rooms have a different theme every night. So again, if you don't like that theme, maybe the Windjammer buffet is a good option for different types of food, or the Solarium Bistro offers lunch and dinner, and their menu doesn't change. That's just Mediterranean all the time. So if you don't like the menu or the theming at the main dining, try the Solarium Bistro. I had it last night. Amazing. Very, very good fish. And I tried some lamb and had some hummus, and it was really, really good. So that's a good option as well. I am perfectly content with not spending extra money on dining with the amount of food that they have on board. Again, you can get a piece of pizza until 3 a.m. You can get ice cream during the day. There are some like little add-on foods that you can get. The British pub here has like bar bites for $4, and I tried those, which are good. There is a Asian restaurant on board as well that used to be a Johnny Rockets, but then they changed it when they moved and started cruising to Southeast Asia. And so they have like dumplings and things like that you can add on individually. So there's plenty of those kind of options as well. But the food, I think, is just fine without paying for the extra stuff. Unless, again, you have a special occasion or you really just want a really good steak or you love Italian food. So there, again, it just kind of depends on what you want to spend your money on, right? I spent more time in the room this time, and so I wanted to have that kind of upgraded room. There are other people that go to their room once, maybe twice a day, and they want to spend money on the other things as far as the drinks and the food and that kind of stuff. So you kind of have to weigh out, what's worth it to you. But without spending any money on frills, I've perfectly enjoyed my time, spent, little bits here and there on just a one-off kind of thing, and was A-okay with that. I've really enjoyed it so far. So yeah, keep that in mind again when you're pricing things out. See what's worth it to you. And the only frill that I did add on was internet, because I feel like that's my God-given right to have internet. And so I did pay for that. Pretty annoyed with it for the most part because it cuts out a lot, and I have to keep trying to reconnect. And most of the time it takes, I say forever, it takes a good chunk of time to reconnect to the internet. So that has been frustrating. And that's something that I paid $21 a day, something like that for. So that has been a point of contention for me. But that's about the only frill I got. The rest of it has just been kind of seeing what they have to offer, and I'm good with it. I've really enjoyed this ship. So one of the things I hear the most is that people say I don't want to do a cruise because I'm afraid of the open water. And the ocean seems big and it scares me, and I hear that a lot. And so to that, I would say, let me show you a lot of the things that you can do inside a cruise ship where you would never even know that you're on the water outside of the ship movement. Yes, the ship does rock a little bit. Some ships rock more than others. Some decks, the rocking is more noticeable than others. But for a fair majority of the ship, you would never even know that you were on open water. So you could go to several of these bars on board Quantum of the Seas, like the Schooner Bar, where they do a lot of the trivia and like Sudoku challenges and things like that. You'd never know you were on the water. The music hall, they do a lot of there's shows that are in there. There was Name That Tune in there, Wizarding World Trivia. Again, you're not looking at the water, you have no windows, you'd never even know. So several of the restaurants have interior seating that aren't facing the water or looking at the water. So there's plenty of ways and things to keep yourself occupied inside to where you don't have to look at open water. You don't have to see, that vast ocean and that whole thing. So even some of the pools, like once you get into the pool, you'd never know that it was any different than any other pool because you just don't have access to seeing to the outside of the ship. So again, outside of the movement, and again, ships do move, they will rock. Usually the higher up you are on a ship, the more you will feel the rocking, which is why the dining room areas are lower in the ship because they're closer to the stabilizers. And so again, you will kind of notice that. Again, if you don't like the water, I would suggest either an interior room or maybe just a room with a window, but not the balcony. And again, if you've got an interior room on a lower deck, honestly, like unless you're looking at the water, you wouldn't even really know that you're on open water. So plenty of options there if that is a thing of yours. And also try a shorter cruise. Like you don't have to do a 7-night to start. Try one of the 3-night cruises and see how you do, see how you like it. Those are usually the night you leave, you sail to a port, you're there the next day for most of the day and you're on land. And then again, you get back on the ship and leave that night, do a day at sea, and then you're back home. So it certainly doesn't have to be a long experience if it's something you want to try out, but talk to your travel agent like me who can help you kind of look at what your options are and, a way to try a shorter cruise to make sure it's something that you can handle. And again, like to really kind of help you pick the right ship for you. For Quantum of the Seas, again, this is a more adult themed ship. So tons of hangout space inside that just feels like you're in a neighborhood. You wouldn't even know that you're on the ocean. It's certainly worth checking out. Cruises, I still wholeheartedly believe, are one of the most affordable vacations, whether you're solo, whether you're with a family. I mean, especially if you have kids, but if you're with a group, whatever, they really are affordable and just they offer so much and so many options. I think it's hands down the way to go. So yeah, talk to your travel agent about that. I'm also happy to answer any questions as far as the type of ship and looking at shorter cruises and see what might work for you. I finally found one! A duck! Oh, and it's a birthday duck. Check it out.
Oh, we found one.
It's loud. Happy birthday to you.
All right, let's move on to the next question. Have a seat, please. All right, for you is question number 11. You need to tell me the members of this group. And I need every single members of this group of their stage name. In 3, 2, 1, and go! You know what? You got more time. You got it? You got it? If you're happy, tell me.
Baby Spice,
Okay.
Sporty Spice, Posh Spice, Ginger Spice, Scary Spice.
Yes! And your name is Spice Girl. Woo!
Now it's time to get funky. To the right now. To the left. To the right.
Overall, let's talk about the entertainment from Royal Caribbean. The game shows that they put on are usually pretty decent and fun. Some of them can get pretty funny. They did like a sexiest man on board competition, battle of the sexes, things like that. So some of the game shows that they do are very well done and really funny. Some of the things like name that tune, or if you know it, finish the lyrics, things like that are a little lacking because the activity staff doesn't push you to get involved, and sometimes there are people that are into it, sometimes there aren't. So those are kind of and then things like the trivia or like Sudoku or crosswords, things like that there may not be a lot of people, but people are super into it, and you may find it like it gets really full really fast on some of those things. The Wizarding World trivia, Friends trivia, stuff like that was like packed full of people. So sorry, Central Perk trivia, everything was copyright free. They even did House of Mouse, name that tune, so I wasn't sure what that was, but anyway. So yeah, things like that were very popular and pretty fun. The stage shows are a different story. I would strongly suggest keeping your expectations in check on those. Even Sonic Odyssey, which I was really looking forward to, it had like a drum wall. The dancers were okay, the singers were okay, the song selection was okay. The earth harp that he played was actually really neat, and the drum wall was really cool. But it was just like, okay. The Star Water show made no sense at all. Just dancing and singing of whatever. It was very confusing, or not confusing, because there was no point to it. There was just no storyline, nothing that made sense. So yeah, some of the stage shows are a little lacking, so I would, again, keep your expectations in check there. And then stage performers like the comedians, the hypnotists, stuff like that, it's a luck of the draw on who you get on your ship and whether they're any good or funny or not, or they're like talk about stuff that you're into or whatever. So yeah, I've been on other cruise ships that had far better entertainment. Even like Virgin Voyages, when I did that, it had fewer options, but the quality was far better. So I will give that to Royal. Man, you're, again, only bored if you want to be. There are so many things to do on board. Whether you want to make a day of it and just be busy, whether you want to go to one thing. I mean, there is so many options, so I do appreciate that, because you can truly make a day just staying on the ship like I did today. But yeah, it's just the quality of stuff as far as the entertainment options, I don't expect a ton. So, but yeah, overall, this was a fantastic cruise. I love this ship so much. I'm definitely going to do Quantum Class again. I would like to do this Ensenada cruise again. This was a great couple of days and just full of fun stuff, new experiences for me that I really enjoyed. So yeah, like I will definitely do this again. But we are back in port here at the San Pedro port, and it was a great trip. We just had breakfast at the Solarium Bistro. Easily eaten my weight in cruise food over the last 4 nights, which really is the highlight of the trip for me. No, not really. I get to do a ton of cool things on this cruise, some new experiences, and I've really, really enjoyed Quantum of the Seas. I'm excited to do this cruise again, learn more about the Quantum class ships, and yeah, just this was really enjoyable. I've had a great time. I got to do a lot of cool things. It was very active sometimes. I also got to relax a lot, take some naps, just chill out. It was a really good mix of all those things, which to me is what makes a perfect vacation. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe, follow along with me on all my cruise adventures, theme park adventures, and just travel in general. And hopefully I can inspire you as well. And when you are ready to start looking at your first cruise, your 50th cruise, I'm happy to take a look with you, make sure you've got the ship that's right for you, the destinations that are right for you, and help you pick out what's gonna make your cruise absolutely perfect. So whenever you're ready, just comment below, or you can email me. I'll put my email in the description. Love to help you out and kind of talk through that with you and find out what's gonna make the trip best for you. Thanks for watching, everybody. Happy adventuring.